All right, well, so we're moving on to the East over here, man, and it's your boys over here. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Miami Heat. Gee, Mike, we know you're a big Miami Heat guy. What did you see in Game One, man? What's your thoughts? How did this go?
Too many wide open shots for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think that they were shooting some shots that were not contested and either make or miss. You still don't want to see that. We want to see a lot of hustle on defense. That's what Miami does, the top 10 defense in the league. And we don't want to have anybody having any open shots. If players are making shots that are contested, we got to live and die with that. It is what it is. But we can't be having shots that are not contested. We need Andrew Wiggins to put more of an effort in trying to score the rock. 14 points is not going to cut it. We need 20 or more points with him, especially we're going to be the number one offensive ranked team in the NBA when it comes to the Cleveland Cavaliers with scoring the rock. Another thing is our big three. We got to be more efficient. Tyler Hero, 7 for 18. Bam Adebayo, 10 for 22. And then Andrew Wiggins, like I mentioned, 5 for 11. We can't have that. We need to be more efficient with scoring the rock. And then the other thing is Ty Jerome for the Cleveland Cavaliers coming off the bench, scoring 10 for 15 from the field and 5 from 8 from three-pointer, which are 15 points just off of three-pointers. He scored 28 points off the bench. We can't have that. We can't have someone off the bench looking like Mike out there, man. It just can't happen. We need to be more collective as a unit, play better defense, be more efficient on offense, and stop the bench players from being stars out there.
Yeah, no, I think you're onto it as well, and that's actually one thing we're going to be. He's going to be in that conversation. We'll be having a little bit about the NBA awards. He's up for Sixth Man of the Year, and that category itself is going to be an interesting one to pick. I'm interested to see what your thoughts on that as well. But yeah, I don't. What would you prefer as a Heat fan? Would you prefer Adebayo being your leading scorer, or is it Andrew Wiggins or Hero? Like if Bam's your leading scorer, I don't feel like that's a winning. I don't feel like that's a winning way for you guys. That 100%. Bam should be your second leading scorer, maybe possibly even the third, but Hero or Wiggins should be your leading scorer. And if Bam is doing that, I don't think that's a recipe for winning.
100%. Yeah, Hero has to be in the 30 marks. Andrew Wiggins got to be 20 to 25. Bam got to be 15 to 20.
Right.
Even then, I'm giving him like a little slight edge, but he should be 20 to 25 too.
Yeah, no, I agree. How confident are you going into the next game, man?
I'm very confident because Eric Spoelstra is 10-3 when it comes to game twos after losing game ones. So there's a lot of adjustments that Eric Spoelstra does. The thing is that the Cleveland Cavaliers, they're a good scoring team, man. It's tough to stop them. Their starters do what they need to do. Donovan Mitchell, 30 points, 11 for 19 from the field. He went 2 for 9 from three-pointers. Usually he doesn't do that. Darius Garland had 27 points, 10 for 17 from the field, 5 from 9 from three. And we stopped Evan Mobley and we slowed down Jared Allen, but Jared Allen did his job with 11 rebounds. So the Cavs did what they need to do with their starters, right? And the only bench player that went off was Ty Jerome. You take away those 5 threes that he made, that's 15 points. We're cutting this game to 6 points only and not losing by 21. So, there's some good stuff to be seen, but then there's a lot of bad stuff to be seen too. And when it comes to the Cavs, they did their jobs with their starters. And their main bench player, like you said, he's up for Sixth Man of the Year. He did exactly what he needed to do in game one.
Yeah, and I think as a Heat fan, I think that it's obviously you throw in that Heat culture thing a bunch that gets thrown around a bunch, but I think that Miami is a very resilient team, and they were they were fighting for the most part in that game. It wasn't like a total blowout, like the box score says. It just when it actually mattered, they got out hanging at the end. Having said that, though, I think Miami has a chance. I just think that Cleveland is just so put together well. They're healthy this year. That was their problem last year. Coming into the playoffs, they weren't healthy. Half their team was, hurt. And so I think Cleveland is just put together extremely well. But I think Miami has a chance to surprise and make it a series at least.
Yeah, no, I definitely hope so. For me, it's gonna be very surprising for me if they take it to 6 games. Just on the fact of we can't close out games, which is what you saw in the fourth quarter of game one. There was 6 minutes left to go. We were only down 6 points. And look at the score, 100 to 121. How did it get out of hand so quick? because we don't know how to close out games. And then two, Cleveland is gonna make us pay. It's not like these other teams that will have a close game and then they'll be missing. And since they miss, we get that momentum off that defense. We transition well to offense, and we start scoring, and we end up winning games. Cleveland is not going to do that. Cleveland is a team that they'll start off slow, but in the second half, they're going to pick it up.
Yeah, I totally agree. And even if they do start off slow, you're hoping that they start off slow because they're that good offensively. A lot of times they don't, and you're just kind of hoping as a Miami fan, I'm sure, please just get off to a slow start because we have a chance at that one.
Yeah, literally. But
it's gonna be a fun series. I think that Cleveland is going to, I think, eventually end up probably taking the series if I had to take a guess in that one. But I think Miami will get at least one win out of it, though. I do think that they'll surprise them and one win in there.
Yeah, and I think Miami takes game 2. I think we'll take game 2, and I don't think Ty Jerome is going to score like that. I think maybe he'll put up 10 to 15, but 28, I don't see that happening again. I think we're going to be more resilient on defense, like how you were saying, and hopefully we can be more efficient on offense, but that hasn't been the case for us this season. So that's the only thing that I'm really praying for, is that our offense picks up as I know our defense will.